As far as I can remember, I was obviously growing up in a so-called happy family. Obviously, no one knows what goes on behind closed doors now. And then, so my mum's partner at the time was obviously abusive, and it was just me and my brother. So when we were growing up, and because I had issues growing up, like with my diagnosis and stuff, my brother was like pushed out. So he'd left when he was 16 to go to Manchester. And then after a couple of months, my mum's partner had left. So it just left me with my mum, and obviously everything I had going on, which was like undiagnosed. So I was in CAMS for as long as I can remember growing up, and then for my mental health, they signed me off at 18. It's only a couple of months ago really that all my diagnoses have been coming in and it's all been making sense. But obviously it's just left me with my mum, and then she's had like 3-4 major operations in the last 4 years, something like that. So I've just like been there for her to help her, and obviously like as a young kid growing up, it just set my head a bit west, to be fair. People would always see it as a happy family as like social media. It's big on social media as pictures, or happy as whatever, because they're on days out all the time. But realistically, you go to the house on like a weekend and they're arguing, but just because it looks from the outside, everything's happy. It's not though. And then you try and tell someone, I said, what's happening there? Like, oh no, like he's like this when he's outside, and well, it's closed doors, yeah. Like it's different when the doors are closed growing up to what people see on the outside. My mum was in work one night, left me home with my brother, and I think it was my first dog I had, just staff. And then my mum's come home from work late at night, because she used to work in a restaurant, and he's like flipped, and then like he's picked the door up off the hinges and he's like thrown it at my mum, and obviously me and my brother were kids, yeah, still little kids upstairs, like crying because we were scared, and my dog was shaking, and it wasn't nice, no. Like my mum came to sit with us and she was like, it's gonna be okay. Like I've not had a bad childhood, I'm not saying that. Like my mum's done everything she could for me, yeah. Like there's nothing I can do to repay her for what she's done for me, but it's just growing up like that. Obviously then I wanted to obviously hurt him in retaliation, yeah, for what he's done to my mum. So I wanted to go boxing. I started at 15, and then obviously I've done it, and I got told when I was in a different gym that I would never fight, like I'd never win a fight or anything. And then obviously I went to a different gym then and I'd fight, which I won then, and now obviously I've got the belt, which I've always wanted really. So it's all coming together a bit now. Like really appreciated, yeah. Like I love her with everything I've got on me, yeah. Like she does everything for me. I wish I could do half things she done for me, yeah. Like I am who I am today because of my mum. Like, don't get me wrong, obviously my dad and my nan and stuff, but my mum's gone through hell, yeah, to get me where I am today. When I was younger, I was obviously a lot more overweight than what I am now, like, and I need to do something about it. And then my mate was talking about boxing, and he went to boxing, and then obviously I started going. Like I'd be going when it's like pouring down with rain, and obviously I was walking because I didn't have a car or anything. And then I'd be coming home crying in pain, my shoulders, my wrists, my knees, my back, but I'd still go the next day. I'd keep going, and then in the end I realised it's not even worth. I might as well just focus on my career instead of trying to go after someone. I was diagnosed with autism and diagnosed with Asperger's, and I don't know if you're familiar with ADD, yeah, that, and anxiety, extreme anxiety disorder, like. So obviously growing up, I was always a naughty kid in school, but where realistically I just needed that bit of extra support, or which we struggled to get for a long time. But like I said, once a couple of months ago, once it came through as like diagnosed, I was able to like set my brain on, right, like this is what's wrong with me, yeah, like, and then I just learned to like live with it. And obviously I've got my girlfriend, and then she's like adapted to it, and my mum's adapted to it. So it's better now that I know what I'm working with. When I started boxing at 15, obviously 16, 17, 18, 3 years, hard dedication. Didn't have a drip of alcohol, never smoked, never did drugs, never. I was one of the cleanest kids, like, yeah. And then obviously I turned 18, went out for my birthday on a Friday, ended up going up Friday, Saturday and Sunday, went to college Monday, and that was it. I started going out every weekend, and then when you go out, you see different people and having a good time, and then you join them, and then they're doing stuff, so you're like, oh, right, okay. And I just done it, and then I was doing it weekend, and then it got to a point where I wouldn't go out unless I had anything with me to go out with, and then it went from going out with some to buying like hundreds of pounds worth on the weekend to go out with, and then being skint and in debt like the following week. But like obviously I was doing it a lot more than what people actually knew, yeah. Like I was in college Monday to Friday, and obviously I'd be doing it there, and then I'd go out weekends, and that's why people would see me on the weekends. But realistically, it's been like an everyday thing, which not many people know. So it's just something I always kept to myself, really. But obviously I'm off it now, I don't go out anymore. Like I've changed. Mainly it was like cocaine and ketamine, really. But cocaine was more cocaine, like. And I don't know, I lost my whole relationship with my family, yeah. Like I fell out with my mum, my dad, my nan, my brother. Like I was talking to no one. A really rough time, obviously. And then I woke up one morning and it was just like a realisation check, and it was just like, what are you doing? Like, so then I started to stop, regain my trust then with everyone. And then obviously I got it all back after a while. Changed my mental health massively, yeah. Proper. It's like, instead of being on a Friday like, oh yeah, I've got nothing to do now after work, I go out, but you can't because you've got training 6 or 7 till 8. So the time you go training and go home, have a shower and stuff, it's late, so you don't really want to be going out anyway. And then obviously, all through the week when you're doing nothing, you're training, so your mind just takes it off everything, yeah. All you focus on is training, especially when you've got a fight coming up. All you focus on is fight, yeah. It's like, obviously I've trained, like I said, for years and years and years to get a title opportunity, never mind winning it. So yeah, if I win that, that's just, it's made it, yeah. Like, I've done it. Obviously I'm gonna push for a better or another belt, but that's gonna be a good one to start it. I hope I do inspire other people, obviously, to pull themselves out of it or change their lifestyle, or just even coming in training. Like, I've had a few people message me saying it's inspired them and that, but it's taking our first move, yeah. I hope it does help people, because I got help, yeah, and that was the thing I got.